Or hopefully you didn't just wake up 20 minutes ago.
I was just said you did not do that. That's
I did. I've had my ice bath and I've meditated for 12 hours and in a monastery with Buddhist monks. It was great. I had tofu and I was like,
in other
don't,
words, Mike was
don't
very
you
unorganized this
don't
morning.
you start your day with meditation at a Buddhist monastery?
Look, in
Come
your
on,
dreams.
it's the new thing. I'm starting a new thing on Instagram. It's going to be hashtag Buddhist monk meditation at 4 o'clock.
Mike's meditation.
Mike's meditate. Oh, that sounds good.
It's got a ring to it,
Meditation
doesn't
with
it?
Mike. Morning, everybody.
Good
Hope you're doing
morning.
well. Welcome
Morning.
to another episode of Q&A where we ask the questions. No, you ask the questions and we answer them on the spot. Hopefully you're having a great start to the morning, evening, afternoon, nighttime, whatever you are in the world. We are going to discuss a few main three people in here. You're funny, mate. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. I love TikTok for that reason. That's great. I love it.
What?
The smart ass comments. When you say good morning, everybody, you're talking about the three people watching you. So, nah. Everybody else is watching me on the other screen, motherfucker. So eat that. TikTok just doesn't want a piece of me. It was good banter, though. I appreciate it. All right, let's get kicking off straight away because obviously we don't have time to waste. What are the most effective ways to lose weight after 40? Oh, specific with the age today. I like that. I don't think age really matters in this instance. The most effective ways to lose weight. It can be a little bit harder because, all right, let's talk about getting over.
Men versus women too in that
Correct.
age is different as well, but the principles are still the same.
Correct. Yeah. So when we age, obviously over the age of 40, we lose 1% of our muscle mass every single year until we die. And the only way to gain that back is by lifting weights. So it is a lot harder to lose weight over 40 and because of metabolism and age.
But not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. Exactly right. So what are the most effective ways to lose weight? We'll call it after 40. Let's just answer the question. Definitely strength training, number one. Strength training, without a doubt, is the best thing for you moving forward in terms of gaining that muscle mass that we lose all the time, but also helping metabolism grow, getting a bigger engine on your body so you can eat more food. The biggest problem with weight loss is, especially over 40, is people overcomplicate it. They're overcomplicating it so much. So, focus on strength training to boost your metabolism and maintain muscle mass. That's probably first and foremost. It's one thing that we don't focus on enough when it comes to weight loss. We all think about cardio. We all think about eating a salad every meal. It's not that.
And it's longevity as well. Obviously as we get older, we don't want to end up these frail little old people that have a fall, end up in a nursing home and then end up, buried a couple of weeks later. Like that happens so often. So
pretty bad.
Lifting weights isn't just about like building muscle and, being fit and strong. It's like longevity, life,
Yeah, that's right. We're training for life.
And being over 40, I would assume that, this would kind of be starting to play on your mind a little bit of how long am I going to be able to do this stuff for before my body claps out on me? By working those muscles, moving your body, that really, really does help that longevity. And, things happen and sometimes you can't avoid it. But if you can try and prevent it, why not?
Yeah, correct. Definitely correct. Next thing is the same as everybody else. Calorie deficit, balanced diet, whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins. And I say that with respect because lean proteins are your best form of getting your muscle mass maintained and also, being good for your metabolism. Lean proteins. Try not to be a vegetarian if possible.
Well, and it's doable, but it's difficult. You've got to be like pretty mindful of how much protein you're getting in because obviously, it's a lot harder if you're not eating meat to get that protein up.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Definitely not impossible. But focus on it's always about calories in, calories out. It's never about anything else. That's the only way to lose weight. We've got to be mindful of it's not the golden word, calorie deficit. It's not spruiked by everybody. It's not something new. It's the truth in science. We've got to have less energy in our body for our bodies to burn off what it has, so we don't keep replenishing it and putting on weight. That's the simple science on it. So keep your diet really, really balanced. Make sure that you are focusing on protein, still having your fats and carbs because it's important, but not just eating a salad each meal. You've got to bump up the protein. I think, again,
yeah. So I was just going to say, like with the protein too, I think a lot of people think like high protein diets are like, again, to build muscle. And yes, that's correct. But it's also too, for me, I like to think of like a high protein diet. I say diet, but like, what I mean. It's just the way that you eat. But a higher protein diet is also really beneficial when you are in a calorie deficit, because we all know that when you're trying to lose weight, you can get really, really hungry. And if you are not fueling your body with enough protein, you're going to be starving, and it is not sustainable.
That's
you're going
right.
to, at the end of whatever time frame you're eating like that, you're going to get to a point where you're going to binge on everything that you can get your hands on because you're hungry, and you're not fueling your body with, foods that keep you fuller for longer. You're going to get to the end of the day and be like, oh, that tub of ice cream looks really good, and I'm so hungry.
Because you're not full. That's right.
Yeah, so the protein keeps you full. And when you're in a calorie deficit, I think that's really important to remember that too, keeping that protein up. Not just for the muscle growth.
No, that's right. And it's like one of the girls that started with us a couple of weeks ago, she messaged me last night. She goes, I feel so full. I'm like, that's the goal. That's the goal. Like at the end of the day, we don't want you to be looking
full.
we don't want you losing weight and getting to the end of the day and feeling like you need to eat some shit. You want to be full, so your body's tricked into saying, hey, I don't need any more fuel.
I don't need it.
The reason why we do binge on stuff is because we're bored or depressed or we don't have control.
Hungry.
So, that's right. So if your guts are if your guts are sending signals to your brain saying, hey, I'm full, you ain't going to get up and do the old dirty binge walk. So
and sometimes it still happens, and that's usually like if you are having a high protein diet and you're still doing those binging, like that's usually like something happening up here then that you've got to sort of kind of work out what those triggers are.
Exactly right.
I remember when I first came into the academy and I was like, what the, excuse my language, but what the fuck? I was getting on the scales and I'm like, I am stuffed full. Like I couldn't finish all the meals.
Yeah.
I actually had to pull myself back from eating everything because I just couldn't at the start. And I'm like, how are the scales going down? Like I used to eat like a bird and just peck on things.
Yeah.
And the scales would go up. And now I'm eating all this food and I'm so full. I can't even finish it. And the scales are going down. It's like when you don't understand the science behind it, it is mind-blowing. It was like one of the moments that I had of like, I've been doing this wrong for so long.
But it's so simple.
It is. Yeah.
It's so simple. It's, again, we said at the start, the problem with weight loss is everyone complicates it. Everyone goes to their favorite social media page and tries to follow some ridiculous program that someone's put out there, that they're on a ridiculous calorie deficit, maybe even on some form of performance enhancing drugs to make them look that way. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So don't overcomplicate things. Stress as well, when we get out, I guess, over the age of 40, as you would know, Erin, being 45 yourself, stress levels are a high contributor to weight gain. Most of us in our 40s have either established family or business or professional. We're hitting our peak of our careers. And there's a lot of stresses that come into life. Being a parent, number one, is tough. Being a business owner or working for, you're getting your career levels up the next level. It's very stressful, and it does contribute to weight gain really, really quickly, especially in our 40s. That's why there's dad bod and mum bod around. It's because we get to a point where we're just trying to survive, and it's another thing. So managing your stress levels is totally crucial, and that leads into my next point: is adequate sleep. Adequate sleep is one of the biggest contributors to weight gain.
Because like people think, oh yeah, I get enough sleep, but then it's like it's such a domino effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like one of the first questions that I asked someone is like, when they're like, I just can't stop binging on foods, and I just feel really tired all the time. And I'm like, so what's your sleep routine like? Do you have one? Oh, no, I don't. Like, I just kind of go to bed when I can and wake up when I have to. And it's like, sorry, that's
Jesus, that was a bit.
wake
The hell
up.
was that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so underrated, but it's got such a domino
Fine.
effect the way we eat and the way we function through the day. Like, and then the stress that comes into that as well. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's a flow-on effect of stress, sleep, nutrition, moving our body,
Yeah.
increasing all those things that make us feel good, but they're all connected.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
don't
Exactly
have
right.
to be
And
perfect at all of them,
yeah,
but if you're ticking even just one box in each of these like areas,
yeah,
that can see progress.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Totally It's good progress. And Mix he's out here walking the dog at 4:46 a.m. in Perth, and that's my next point is walking, like
Yeah.
movement, just getting off your ass and forcibly doing something that's going to make you, um, just get off your ass, feel good about yourself. Walking's great for clearing the headspace,
Mm.
getting some cardio work in, but also it's just therapeutic. It really, really is. Everybody knocks the benefits of walking, and it's the first thing we get taught to do when we age. It's the thing we all know how to do, hopefully, if we've got legs and we're not incapacitated. But walking is fantastic for weight loss in terms of getting out and moving, get your headspace right, clearing things. Like I like it to break up the day, the monotony of the day. I was talking to a client yesterday, and it was like, how do I fit it in? It's like, hey, you only need 2 half-an-hour walks a day to get about 6,000 steps on top of your 3 or 4 that you get at home or at work. Two
Mm.
half-an-hour walks is achievable, right? It's not a massive effort. Half an hour's fuck all. If you get two half-an-hour
Even just
walks in each
around
day,
your house.
yeah, two
If
half-an-hour
you
walks
can't
in
get
each
out
day,
for a walk, do laps
you'll
around
you'll
your
make
house.
your target. Yeah, it's a fantastic thing to do. So yeah, they're my top things for most effective ways to lose weight. There are other things that we could go into if we want to dive into it a bit further, but I think simplicity is the most important thing. Don't fucking complicate weight loss. Simplicity is the most
I
important
think
thing.
just quickly too, I think that's where it's important too, like investing in a coach, that again too, this might sound like a bit of a plug, but it's not. But
What does?
each person is individual. It
Yeah, yeah. No,
probably
no.
comes across like that. But
No,
like
but hang on. You're a byproduct of it, right?
100%.
So
These basics are very wide range to
yeah,
everyone, right? This is like, hey, go and try this. This will help. If it's
yeah,
not working, that's when like you should probably go, I might need someone else to help here, because there are individual situations and things that can come up that you might not know yourself, that a coach can pick and point out and go, actually, this is where we need to, fix this or focus here. And sometimes, yeah, again, we overcomplicate it in our own heads. And
yeah,
having someone there, like everyone's situation is so different. And especially, like you said, over 40, there are so many other things that you could go into,
yeah,
but it's just confusing it, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, big time. So simplicity is the biggest thing. But yeah, you're right. Having somebody that's done the hard work to be able to guide you to do it is
It makes
tons
it
more
easier.
effective. Tons
Yeah.
more effective.
And
Tons
it
more
happens
effective.
quicker. Like again, like you said, I'm a byproduct of it. And that's why I speak so loudly about it,
Yeah.
because, you know, for so long I did it wrong.
Yeah.
I felt frustrated and annoyed and thought, oh, this is it. Like this, I just have to struggle with this for the rest of my life. And the
Yeah.
minute that I invested into myself, which meant investing into a coach, everything just changed so quickly.
Yeah.
And I never looked back.
Yeah.
And I just think the more people that can understand that,
Yeah.
like, better that they're going to feel.
Correct. Definitely correct. I love it.
That's my little rant.
There's a comment there from Adam. That's what I love about this group is you don't have to do it alone. If Erin can do it at 45, we all can.
Love that. I look great for 45, okay? So
You're a champion, mate. I look pretty good for 25 too. I just had a rough life. So hopefully that answers the question. Again, simplicity is everything. Simplicity in life is great, but don't overcomplicate fucking weight loss. it really isn't hard. It's just comes down to some world-class basics that you need to nail every single day and be consistent with your eating, consistent with your training, consistent with your walking, consistent with your stress, managing your stress, consistent with your sleep, and you will be able to lose weight really, really fast and consistent and healthfully. And it's not a big reduction in weight. It's just, you've got to remember, it's not linear. It doesn't go straight down. Weight loss is like a fucking roller coaster. It just
Mm.
has bumps
And
and
these
twists and
things
turns.
don't just help with weight loss either. Like there's huge benefits in the
Yeah.
rest of your life and health that
Yeah.
you know, being consistent with these can help with as well.
Big time. Absolutely. All right. Next questions. Can intermittent fasting be beneficial for weight loss? Yes, highly beneficial. Why? First and foremost, it's got to be mentioned that it's a tool. It's not a silver bullet that's going to all of a sudden give you this skyrocketing reduction in weight. That's not what intermittent fasting does. Intermittent fasting is a natural calorie reduction, we'll call it, okay? Because it stops you from having one meal a day or a couple of meals a day. For example,
doesn't it?
Beg your pardon?
It just reduces that window of the amount of time
Yeah.
that we're eating. Like
So
that's how simple it is.
if we look at an average male in their 40s, they probably eat 3,500 calories a day. That's an average male that's not on a diet or on a weight loss program, because that's pretty easy to do. Let's just give it a quick example. 700 calorie breakfast, which would be toast with eggs and probably avocado slathered all over it. 700 calorie lunch, 800 calorie dinner. We're up to 2,500 calories plus your morning tea, your afternoon tea, and dessert. So it's quite easy. So an average male would eat 3,500 calories a day, quite easy. Now, if in a 16-hour period, if you only had 12 hours to eat that, it's a lot harder. Okay, it's a lot harder to jam all those calories in a 12-hour period. So, intermittent fasting is really, really great tool. Everybody remember, tool. It's not a quick solution. Yeah, it's a tool that's going to reduce the amount of hours it takes you to eat all those calories. So if that's the case and you're missing breakfast and morning tea, for example, if you fast from 8 to 12, then you've got 8 hours to fit in lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, and possibly dessert. And then you've already got a natural calorie reduction. But pairing that with eating whole foods and high protein diet, like then you're reducing your calories even further. Okay, so intermittent fasting is really, really cool. It does help regulate your blood sugar levels and stuff like that, and improves insulin stuff. It does help inflammation by with your metabolic health, which is really cool. But the main thing we've got to point out is it's a fucking tool. It's not going to press a button, I'm fasting, all of a sudden I'm losing. Now, there's the 72-hour fast, there's a 7-day fast that people do. Right, okay, that's a dramatic weight loss because you're malnourishing your body really, really like quickly. And I would not say that is an effective way of losing weight. There's good science behind resetting your metabolism by doing that. Cool, research it first before you do it. I wouldn't personally advocate for it. I think
you're depleting your body of more than just the weight.
Yeah.
And that to me would be a worry, because you've got to build all that back up again, and that's going to take some time. And, you know, you've got to start eating again. You're going to gain some of that weight back. And obviously our metabolism is going to be like, are you starving me? Or are you feeding me? Am I storing fat? Am I burning it? What am I doing? And then it's just going to store the fat, and you're going to be like, well, what's happening here? What have I done?
I've had a few friends that have done the 72-hour fast and they've lost 1.5 kilos, and you know, they still just come out feeling good, but then when they go to eat the next meal, they've eaten 3,500 calorie meal straight away because they're so fucking hungry and famished. It's not funny. But so intermittent fasting is hugely beneficial. It's hugely beneficial. I use it when I want to do a cut, but I don't use it all the time. I've trained my body now to I know my metabolism. I know the calories and protein that I need each day to function when I'm training or when I'm not. I've trained my body that well to know that. But if I feel like I've put on a bit of weight over winter, for example, I'll use intermittent fasting as a cut. Now, I find the benefits not just in the weight loss, but also my focus, because I don't have like I'm not waking up going, oh, I've got to eat, I've got to eat. I'm just like, I can get into work, I can have
Get up
coffee, water, or some electrolytes, and it just buzzes me for till lunchtime. When I get to lunchtime, I am very, very hangry, and I'll eat everything. But yeah, it's a great tool, absolute great tool.
For me, intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
It has been like something that I have always been an overeater.
Yeah.
And I still do it now. If I don't fast in the morning, if I eat, I get hungry so much quicker. If I just have a couple of coffees until lunchtime and then have my lunch, like I break my fast with a coffee and that's fine. Like for me,
but it's technically not breaking it.
Like that's not food to me.
No, correct.
My fast still goes until lunchtime.
Yeah.
When I actually physically eat something.
Correct.
I always say if you're someone that overeats and you know you overeat, it is amazing to do fasting of a morning. If you're someone that really struggles to eat and you find that you get to the end of the day and go, shit, I haven't eaten anything. Like, I haven't had anything and I'm about to have dinner and that's it. I would suggest that actually you shouldn't fast. You should break your meals up through the day and spread them out. Small meals if you're someone that doesn't overeat.
Yeah.
If you're someone that does overeat, it's a great tool. And again, it's specific to, each individual. But I think that it's for me been very, very beneficial. Still to this day, if I don't fast, I'm like, oh, give me the food. Where's the food? By the end of the day, I'm like, wow, I'm hungry and I've hit my targets today, but I'm still starving. So I think it's very, very beneficial to know whether you are an overeater or an undereater, whether that's going to help.
Yeah, big time. Leslie said a question. Hi, why for the first kilometer of a run my lungs burn, but then it's fine? Les, that's generally due to the change in temperature from when you're leaving your house to outside, and your body's adjusting to the, what do you call it? The atmosphere or temperature in your area. So that's usually because your lungs are adjusting to the cold or the heat. Because they've been inside an air conditioning or in a heater versus going out into the cold. That's generally what it is when you start running off. So it's nothing, no issue. But most of the time it's because of your airways are adjusting to your breath being hot or cold, and you coming from an environment that's hot or cold into another one. So I wouldn't stress about that too much, mate. Okay. If I have a protein shake, will that break the fast? That's a great question, Adzi. I technically don't think it breaks the fast, in my opinion. In my opinion, breaking the fast is a big meal. That's what I feel. I think that the protein shake will just top up your hunger levels and make you last through to lunchtime or whenever your next meal is. So I don't think it's an issue. But you've got to remember, if that protein shake is part of your calorie deficit diet that you're actually currently eating, so you're not really breaking the fast, you're just topping it up. But if you've had enough protein the day before, most of the time you're still really, really full, so you can go through the fast. So the good thing about the way we give people a meal plan in fasting is the 150 to 200 grams of protein per day. At the end of the day, they're absolutely stuffed, and it kind of, because protein takes a lot longer to burn up than everything else to digest, most of the time over till 10, 11 o'clock, you can handle not eating because you're still digesting protein and you're feeling really, really full. But great question. I don't personally believe that a protein shake will break your fast. To me, if you go and have a massive meal,
technically it does. But if you're not feeling like super, super hungry by having it in the morning, if you're hitting your goals by the end of the day,
if it's within your calorie, if it's an extra protein shake and it's going over your calories, then that's a different story, in my opinion. But just to top yourself up to get through the morning, dude, I do it plenty of times, especially after the gym. It's only because I feel really, really hungry. If I don't want to go and eat a big breakfast, I'll just have a shake or a bar or something that'll just keep my hunger levels down. In that sort of way. So Cool. Eden, I've always stuck to my morning fast. I've always found the earlier I ate, the hungrier I feel throughout the whole day. Morning protein coffees always get me through to lunchtime. Yeah, protein coffee is a great one that people do. So if you don't know, the scoop of protein powder in your coffee, and actually takes it to another level. Just
I
don't
can't do
don't
it.
put it in black coffee. It's not good.
It's not my thing. I can't just can't do it. I
Yeah.
like my coffee as is. Don't mess with that.
Yeah, I know, I'm the same. But Leslie, is it common to fart like Farty McFarty when running and exercising? Yeah, it is common, mate. It definitely is. I do it. Ask my wife. She
No, that
hates
this
going
is the thing.
she hates going to the gym with me, especially in the morning, first thing, because I'm very regular, and if I don't get to go, it backs up with gas. So it's very common, especially running, because obviously you got to remember all your gases are moving around when you're running, and they've got to come out somewhere. So yeah, it's
Just
definitely
run
common.
faster, Les, so that if you
Yeah,
run across anyone, they
utilize
don't
that fart
do.
power as extra push to get your PB. So yeah, it's definitely common. Leslie, great question though. Like I found doing my early morning runs was the most difficult because yeah, I would be backed up from the night before, and I'd make sure that I cleared the airways before I left for my runs. But it's definitely common. It's super common. You got to remember we're putting pressure on our guts, and it's like the air and the juices and that are all moving around, so it's going to want to go somewhere. So totally common, mate. And yeah, you're not alone on that one. Just don't run with me. Don't run with me. How important is whoever smells the delta? Yeah, how important is sleep in the weight loss process?
I think we
Um,
touched on this a little bit, like of
we
just how
did.
important it is.
I think it's the unsung hero in my eyes. Calorie
Mm.
deficit, yeah. Walking, yeah. Weight training, yeah. But sleep,
You're not going to want to do all these things if you have rubbish sleep.
no. That's right. You're not going to have energy. Your body's not going to be able to rest and recover. Um, it sleep deprivation is, as you know, even as a parent, right? Before we even got into weight loss and exercise, like sleep deprivation, it's terrible.
Mm.
Broken sleep's terrible. Deprived sleep's terrible. Not enough sleep's terrible. Um, Having sleep apnea, like guys and girls out there, if you're snoring or you wake up in the morning and your throat's really sore, go get tested for sleep apnea. It's fucking even worse than sleep dep. It's the silent killer. Sleep is the unsung hero in weight loss, in my absolute opinion.
Mm.
It increases your hunger and appetite. It's like fucking. It makes your metabolism go through the roof in terms of it's fucking crazy. You can't train when you haven't had a good sleep. Well, you can, but it's not effective. You
Mm.
won't go for healthy food choices because you're fucking so tired. You just want something quick and easy and like a mad rush of sugar or something that's going to get you like wired because
Oh, it's convenient.
you're
I don't
lazy. Yeah, you're too lazy to make the food because you're tired, you're exhausted. And a typical day for a parent, speak
I
on
was going
behalf
to
of
say,
parents,
like,
is
as
we wake up, we've got fucking chaos in the house. We don't eat breakfast because all we're doing is getting fucking everyone out the door. We get
mm,
them out the door. We forget about morning tea because we're in a rush to work or come home and clean or whatever it is. By lunchtime, all we've got time for is a quick salad, which is just whatever's in the fridge chucked into a bowl.
if
Generally
you've got
about
that, if not,
yeah,
then
some ham and sliced ham is something is your protein, right? That's my protein. And then comes afternoon tea. We've had 20 coffees by then just to start to survive. Afternoon tea is generally chips or chocolate or something nasty because we
it's
need a little bit more to get
unhealthy.
us over. We pick the kids up. We're back in chaos again. And then we go through to dinner. And that's probably the only time we actually get to eat some form of protein and veggie and carbohydrates. But we've
Mm.
also eaten some of the nuggets off the kids' plate, right? So we're fucking ourselves we're overtired, we're overeating, we're under eating actually, sorry, we're under eating crap too. So we're not giving our body its proper nutrients. We're not doing we're not hitting our protein targets. So we're doing so much damage to ourselves, all because we didn't have good sleep. That's where it started, and then the domino effect comes across. So sleep is the unsung hero in terms of um, benefits for weight loss. So don't
And
write off.
probably like some parents here that have got really young children that are like, go and F yourself. Like, how do you expect me to get a good sleep when
And I wasn't going to say that.
no, but like in the back of people's mind, they're probably
Yeah,
thinking, like, how do you expect me? I still have a 5-year-old that wakes up through the night
yep.
constantly. but how do I manage to get more sleep than, say, like someone that doesn't have a kid that's doing that?
Yeah.
I make it a priority. I
Yeah.
have a sleep routine. I make sure the sleep that I have, if I've got to have a nap in the afternoon before I pick the kids up because
Yeah.
the night before I haven't had any sleep, guess what? I
Do
don't
it.
feel bad for that.
Yeah.
I do not feel like, oh, I'm having an afternoon nap, like I'm lazy or I should be going. I feel like, there's a bit of like a competition of like people that say, oh, well, I only had 4 hours sleep last night. Oh, well, I only had 3 and I'm still going. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we boast about that. Whereas for me, I'm like, no, actually, I'm getting as much sleep as possible because one, I am impossible to deal with when I've got no sleep under my belt.
Yeah.
I'm very cranky, reactive, and
Yeah.
not a pleasant person, but make it a priority. Have a sleep routine. I think that is like the number one thing. If you do have kids, sometimes it's not going to happen, but
Yeah.
prioritizing it, making it a thing can be really beneficial to your kids as well. It can help them get into a routine if you
Yeah.
have a routine. Monkey see, monkey do. All these things that you're doing, they're going to pick up on them. And if you're kind of just like, yep, well, the kids have got to go to bed and then I'll just sort myself after that. Like, it's
Yeah.
never going to happen. You're never going to be able to prioritize your sleep. You've got to really make the time and make a conscious decision of I'm going to do this and make sure I get enough sleep.
We
And
all
it's
we
not
all
waste
used to we all used to use our lack of sleep as a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I got through last night. I had 4 hours sleep, but I can win the day. And
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It's really,
Yeah.
really tough. And lack of sleep also leads to stress, and stress leads to hormone imbalance, which affects weight loss, which leads
Cranky
to
wife, cranky husband, cranky kids, cranky everyone.
yeah, emotions. And then you go back to old habits, back into emotional eating, and that's when we put the weight back on. So sleep's the unsung hero. It's not. I'm not going to sit here and preach and say you have to have 7 to 8 hours sleep, because if you can't, you can't. But if you can have 6 hours of solid sleep rather than 4, great. If you can have 6.5, if you can sneak in a nap, if you can do some things that will help benefit you in the long run, great.
But think about how long you spend on your phone overnight time, scrolling, doing nothing. Could you be in bed a bit earlier and get half an hour?
But Mike and Aaron, I want to watch my favorite show. Yeah, dude, sacrifice one night, then watch it. Don't watch
even
it.
half it. Half the amount. If you spend an hour, go, great, I'm going to spend half an hour watching my favorite show and then going to bed quicker. Like,
watch one episode, okay? Just don't watch 7.
Sometimes that doesn't work.
I know, and fucking Netflix always do the little teaser at the end, and it's like putting the tip in, and you just want it all, but you just get the tip, and you're like, oh my god, I've just got the tip, and I can't go any further. I want more. It's the truth. They're marketing geniuses. That's how they keep you going, mate. All right. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for that too, like last time. Anyway, don't really care. It is what it is. But yeah, try and get as much sleep as you can. I think that's the important part. Like, so yes, didn't mean to crush you.
Live for everyone to see. That's great.
It's true though, right?
He doesn't just want the teaser; he wants it all.
I was watching Suits last night because I love that show.
Now we're changing the subject.
Yeah, but it's like that. The episode before I went to bed, and it was like they put the tip in, and I was like, but I wanted. Now I've got to go to sleep, so I sacrificed that episode and went to sleep because.
See, that's discipline.
Sleep's important. Yeah, well. Shut up, Benny. It didn't really escalate. It's the truth. I'm very good at comparing. All right, last question before I get into trouble more. What are the risks of rapid weight loss, and how can I lose weight safely? Great question. Absolutely great question. Rapid weight loss fucks up your headspace. Okay, it's like I'm not going to use another analogy. It's if you lost 5 kilos in a week and then you lost nothing the week after that, straight away you become a failure. If you took you 10 weeks to lose 5 kilos but consistently, and you had wins every single week, your brain will be going, wow, I'm doing the right thing. Rapid weight loss isn't good at all. Okay. All it's good for is boxers that are trying to cut weight to make a fight, right? Even then it's not. It's very harmful to the body. So rapid weight loss is not an effective way of losing weight, in my opinion. I believe if you do something really, really fast without learning the benefits, it's not educating you at all. Okay. So gradual weight loss that's sustainable, that's something that you can continually do for a very long time, that's easy and manageable and enjoyable, is something you're going to want to keep doing.
Well, if you're
If
dropping,
you're not eating food for 5 days and
yeah,
you're feeling really, really hungry, but geez, I've lost 5 kilos and I'll fit into that dress, really, really cool. Come the weekend, you're back to binging and you've put that weight straight away. So yeah, rapid weight loss is, good morning, Hannah. Rapid weight loss is not efficient at all in losing weight. You don't want to put your body through that much stress for no reason at all.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's mental, like,
Hey, man.
mental, what's the word I'm looking for?
Mental
barriers,
yeah,
barriers that
correct.
are there, but there's also physical barriers that are there. Like you said, if you're starving yourself and you're losing a whole heap of weight really, really quickly,
yeah,
like there's going to come a point where you start eating normal again, being, you start to feel hungry again because you need energy. Like, when you cut back how much you're eating, you're going to feel like rubbish. Like going to work or, just going out with the kids, you're going to feel absolutely terrible if you're not fooling yourself with a whole food diet. Like, we need these sorts of foods. We need them.
Yeah, we do. Correct.
And when your body's working so hard to lose so much weight so quickly, you're using more energy.
Yeah.
You're going to feel even more like rubbish. When you go back to eating the way that you normally would, you're going to put more weight back on.
Yeah.
It's like a yo-yo diet.
You haven't learned anything. It's definitely yo-yoing. It's definitely yo-yoing. So go back to what we said at the very start. Find someone that's done this before that can write you out a meal plan and some sort of gym program that will help you do this effectively. I'll get my mate back out, the old floppy Harry.
Floppy fat.
Floppy fat. Yeah, my floppy fat. 0.5 kilo of fat. Right. Look, everybody loves this visual. That's 3,500, 600 calories, right? It's not real, people. I didn't cut it out of a dead person. So 3,500 calories to lose that much weight is basically a whole day of eating for someone on the weekend. So effective weight loss is 500 calories deficit a day for 7 days will give you 0.5 kilo of fat loss per week. That is, my friends, effective weight loss, sustainable weight loss. It's not a big result at the end of the week when people go, oh, I've only lost 0.5 kilo, but have a look at the size of that. That's 0.5 kilo. That's almost my forearm in perspective. So when you get to the end of the week and you say, hey, I've only lost 0.5 kilo of fat, just remember our mate here, that's 0.5 kilo of fat. Okay, that's 3,600 calories roughly. So you only need to put yourself in a deficit by 500 calories per day, which is breakfast or morning tea combined with breakfast, hence the fasting, or reducing the size of your dinner from 1,000 calories to 600 and your lunch the same, and you can get 500 calories quite quickly. Don't eat too many snacks during the day. You can reduce your calories quite quickly. That's sustainable. I'm still eating. Pair that with a high protein diet. I'm still eating. I'm getting good food into my system. Your body is fueled. That's the thing. It's fueled for the right reasons.
So if you were someone that really enjoys like soft drinks, not the no sugar ones, just soft in general, if you cut out alone just soft drink,
yep,
you will lose weight.
Correct. Beer, full
lose weight.
caramel lattes, people. Okay, caramel lattes, another one. Great analogy. A can of Coke is about 180 calories roughly, right? For one can, people can drink 2 a day quite easily. Full strength coffee with full cream milk and caramel pumps about 250 calories or something like that.
Or depending the size.
Yeah, correct. People can have 3 of those quite easily per day. If you reduce that down to just a skinny latte with, I don't know, one equal or something like that, you'll reduce the calories at least 500. Same as a can of Coke. If you go for Coke Zero, which is 0 calories, you'll reduce 500 calories really, really quickly. It's quite easy to do. We just got to be able to be trained and know what's a sustainable or what's a health. No, I won't say healthier. What's a more calorie less option that's available for you? Sources
And there
on the food.
are so many options now.
Mayonnaise.
When you walk into the grocery store, it's so nice to see that there are so many like no sugar alternatives to things that we love, because
but then we get the no sugar Nazis that come on and talk about aspartame and all that stuff. Like, okay, if we want to go down that rabbit hole, we can. But there's an amino acid, I can't remember the name of it, that's in aspartame that is apparently cancer driving. But it takes 27 cans of Coke a day to actually go over the minimum limit. If you had 3 pieces of beef, you would go over the minimum limit with that amino acid. So I don't want people talking about that shit. We're talking about weight loss today. Calories in, calories out. So if you reduce the amount of sauces you have per day to a lighter sauce, I love no sugar Sprites or Solo or Pasito. Like, takes me back to my younger days. Reduce your sauces to something alternative. Reduce your coffee from full strength triple shot fucking caramel latte with 8 sugars. If you reduce your cans of Coke or your beers to something a bit more lighter, you'll be able to save 500 calories really, really quickly. So it's not fucking hard, people. Weight loss is simple. But you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan. You've got to have some goals. You've got to be able to know your calories to lose it. You can't just wing it. If you wing it, it won't work.
Yeah, agree. Love that.
Suze, I'm having difficulty getting back into the trifecta. In your experience, is it better to jump in straight away or work on steps this week, gym next week, etc.? Suze, I know you personally, and I know the type of person you are. And when you've got something in your mindset, you generally are very, very laser focused. I personally believe that you can get back into this really, really quickly. I personally believe that you could do the trifecta straight away. But in terms of, if anyone doesn't know what the trifecta is, it's hitting your calorie target per day, getting 10,000 steps in, and hopefully getting the gym to 3 to 4 times a week. That's what we call our trifecta system. Chip away, Suze. What's good for you if you're busy this week? Get the steps in first. I mean, the meal plan's easy to follow. You know that you can get back on track, but get your steps in. You love walking. You love walking with the dogs. Hit your 10,000 steps for 7 days straight, and then go back to the gym next week if that is easier for you. But knowing the Suze that I know, you're a very strong, independent woman that's laser focused. I think you can slide in a couple of gym sessions, mate. No problem. Yeah, that's my opinion. You got anything you want to add to that, Ezra?
I think from a personal perspective, I think there's times where, if we fall off a bit, like, we're not a failure. That's life. That happens. We all have moments or days or weeks where we just go, you know what, I just can't get this done.
Yeah.
That's normal. Like, I have days like that still. I'm not immune to that. I have weeks like that still where I think, oh no, what am I doing? Having a very real conversation with yourself about, am I taking the piss here a little bit with myself? Like, do I want to slowly get back into things? Or do I want to just rip the Band-Aid off and go, you know what, I'm sick of doing what I'm doing because it makes me feel like crap. I want to start doing the things that make me feel good. And I mean this not towards Suze. I mean this in general to everyone, and my own personal thing that I do myself is like, when do you get to a point where you just go, enough's enough? Like, I feel like crap doing what I'm doing. Nothing's changing. Nothing's getting better. I have to make a decision of I'm just going to get back into the things that make me feel good. I'm going to feel uncomfortable and feel like I'm juggling 500 things all at once for a period of time, but then it's going to become habit again. And I'm going to work out how to fit that into my routine and create a new routine again. And I'm going to feel good because I'm doing things for myself and I'm, fueling myself with good food. We know that nutrition is number one. If you are not eating good food, you're going to feel like crap.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like, what's the point in going to the gym when my nutrition's off? What's the point in getting my steps up when I'm going home and I'm eating crap food?
Yeah.
Nutrition, we all have to eat. You have a choice to make a good food choice or a not so good food choice. And it's simple. Like, good food is simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's not like crazy over the top MasterChef meals. It's very, very simple, very basic. You've just got to be organized for it.
Yeah.
The steps again, like, you don't have to go out walking the streets. You can literally stand up whilst you're watching TV, or when you're cooking dinner, stand on the spot while you're waiting for something to cook. Like, I think, yeah, sometimes you've just got to go, do I want to slowly get back into this? And for some people, that's necessary, because there's points too where you can get really overwhelmed if there's a lot going on and, you go, oh, I'm going to tick every box. That can be quite overwhelming. But there's got to be a point at sometimes too for some people where you go, this has dragged on for a bit too long now. I just need to get back into it and feel better about myself.
Yeah. Yep. Great answer. Great answer. If you are just starting out on your journey, I suggest small steps are the best way to get forward. Just
Get moving.
Try hitting your step target first. Try hitting weights next, or meal plans most important. But knowing Suze and your experience in this before, mate, and you know what you need to do. It's just getting back in your head, going, "I've got this." Yeah, we walked together last week or the week before, Suze, and I could see you were back, and yeah, you're still a little bit down on yourself, and there's been a lot of things happening in your life, and that's understandable. But that's the Suze that I've always known. You've always had something going on, but always been able to battle through it. So I think you've really just got to kick your own ass and say, hey, it's time for me to stop fucking wallowing in self-pity. It's time for me to get back up and become that person that I've always been. Get that little bit of weight that you've put back on, get that smile back on your face that we all love seeing in the group, and being accountable to yourself. So, and lean in, mate. Lean in. You've got fucking some of the greatest coaches you'll ever have in your life here, and women in your academy that support you. And if I'm right in saying this, most of them that know who you are probably miss your little photos of you and the doggies walking every morning.
Suze, how many times have I sent you voice notes saying, I miss you, come back? I miss your face.
Yeah. When you're a character like that, Suze, you missed a lot. So yeah, love you heaps, mate. I just want you to make sure that you respect the time for yourself and just get back into it. Like, fucking don't.
Well, that's what it is. Like, being tough with yourself isn't just about like kicking your own ass. It's like making sure you're taking time for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's so important. Looking after yourself is so, so important for yourself and everyone else around you as well.
Yeah.
And I think, you've just got to kind of go, that's enough.
Yeah.
I want to feel good. I don't want to feel crap anymore.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question, guys. Appreciate you joining us this morning, everybody. Thanks for those random questions thrown through, especially the fart one. It was really, really good. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and your week. As always, please message us directly if you've got any questions that you need answered. Be more than happy to help. Drop us a follow somewhere if you can too, if you haven't followed us before, for any really helpful tips and tricks on how to lose weight. Yeah, just enjoy yourselves and just be confident in knowing that life is hard just every single day. Don't overcomplicate life. Just make the simple shit easy, doable, repetitive, enjoyable, and then everything else that gets difficult you can handle.
I love that.